Well, as you can imagine, we've had a lot of lessons learned. I would just, top line, I would say a few things. One is make sure that you understand the reason why you're driving the consolidation. And there's a lot of different reasons. You know,
Sure.
drive your costs down to increase your security, as has been mentioned, and also speed to market, right? As you look at these different types of technologies, any one of those three can be in the mix. It costs money to consolidate, right? And it costs time and energy with a finite amount of resources. So being able to explain that to your business sponsor, what you're trying to do, and what the return on that is from a business value is very important, right? Because a lot of this stuff is sort of back end, back office, and doesn't directly increase the functionality of a TSA screener or a Border Patrol agent, you know, with real-time information, right? There's a lot of indirect there, so that's very important. The other thing is, you know, when it comes to cost, one of the things we learned is understand your cost, right? It's the biggest benefit we have found as we get into these environments is we have good, crisp, clean, transparent costs once we get in there. Coming out of that environment, a lot of times those costs are not completely understood and realized. There's a lot of indirect cost, and so there's not a absolute 100% savings, and that needs to be understood as well as you're working through those various. So we call it smart computing consolidation, and we say computing versus data center for a reason, because we're really focused on, you know, what makes sense and where as far as making those choices, and then the time to do it is really important in making sure that you're clear about that with your business sponsors.
Yeah, that's a great point. I remember from my days, the most difficult issues sometimes to deal with is convincing people that we need to spend a little money if we're going to want to save a little money, and then you know, and getting that additional upfront money is not an easy thing in government, especially when you have lean budget years like we've had for the last several.
It's very much the back end of the business, let's call it.
Right.
And there's a lot of opportunity there, but it's certainly not the pointy end of the spear as far as business value directly. So that's something that just needs to be understood as you're embarking on this, because it does take a lot of resources, a lot of human capital calories
I bet.
to perform this properly.
Absolutely.